Peace and light, family. I hope that you are well. I wanted to just have a quick discussion about the whole notion or idea of staying positive. I noticed that a lot in like the spiritual community. And when I say spiritual community, I mean those of us who are on a spirit-led journey. We have collectively decided that we have to stay positive. And I noticed that people say, I want to stay positive. I want to always be positive. But I really want to address, what does it mean to stay positive, and what does that look like, feel like? What are some myths about staying positive, and what are some facts about it, and how can we do that, right? So just jumping right into it. When a lot of people say staying positive, I think that they have this idea that means that you always have to walk around smiling and like, hi, how are you? And be the most chipper person in the room. And you have to ignore negativity and you don't acknowledge it. And, you just always have to be the knight in shining armor and like this is great person. And that's not what staying positive is at all. Actually, I have found that if you walk around and you attempt to always ignore negativity and you act like it doesn't exist, and you just always try to put on this face and this smile and be the happiest, most cheerful person in the room, eventually those people have mental breakdowns. And they have mental breakdowns because normally they have removed themselves from the realities of life. And then when the realities of life hit them, they do not know how to handle it because they have not equipped themselves with the tools that they need in order to work through and survive challenges. So how do we stay positive, and what does it really mean to stay positive? To stay positive just simply means that you come at life from a positive and optimistic perspective. You don't ignore negative things. You do not act like the negative does not exist, because if the negative didn't exist, then there wouldn't be a such thing as positive. You have to have something to compare and contrast it to, right? So you don't act like the negative doesn't exist. You acknowledge the negative. You know that it exists. You know that it is happening. If a bad person enters your life, you have to acknowledge that this person is not a good person for me. If a bad moment occurs, you have to acknowledge that this moment is not a positive moment right now. So you have to acknowledge and recognize that something is negative in order to choose to tackle it from a positive perspective. So what do I mean when I say positive perspective? I just simply mean being optimistic. Being optimistic, being hopeful that it will be better, and asking yourself, what is this situation trying to teach me? What is this person trying to teach me? What lesson can I learn from this? And how can I move forward better? That is how we tackle life from a positive perspective. That is how we stay positive. No matter what is happening in our lives, we look at it as a lesson. We look at it as something that is trying to benefit us as opposed to something that is trying to destroy us. Everything that happens in life when it comes to the negative, a lot of people will be like, oh, that's just the devil trying to get me. Oh, that's just negativity trying to bring me down. That's one way to look at it. But another way to look at it is a more positive and optimistic perspective as, oh, wow, this is a lesson that I really need to learn. This is a situation that is really trying to teach me something. This person is really trying to show me something about myself. What do I need to learn through this person or do this thing, right? So I think we have to be very clear about what it means to stay positive. Staying positive does not mean ignoring the negative or acting like it does not exist. Staying positive is acknowledging that something may not be healthy for you. A moment may not be a good moment. A moment or a person may not be the best thing in your life at that time, but it's there for a reason. And what is it trying to teach me? What are they trying to teach me? What can I learn? And how will it make me better in the future? That is how we can stay positive. And then my number one way to stay positive is to always be grateful for the opportunity to be better. For real. just be grateful for the opportunity to be better. Living in gratitude is where true happiness lies. Being grateful that every moment of my day I have the opportunity to be a better Poe, to be a better person, to be a better giver, a better lover, a better friend, a better educator, a better sister, a better auntie, a better daughter. Every moment is a new opportunity to be better. So living in gratitude for those moments, and for those moments that I fail to be better, because I do fail. That's me acknowledging that I'm not perfect. I slip up too, because why? I still have a lot to learn. So in those moments that I'm not my best self, I go back and I self-reflect and I say, wow, what can I learn about me from that moment? What was it within me that was triggered, that I allowed to be triggered, that brought out something in me that wasn't the most positive or my most supreme self in that moment? And how can I be better? So that is how I work to stay positive. What are some ways that you work to stay positive? Because staying positive is work. Tackling things from a positive perspective, remaining optimistic, truly learning those lessons. It's work. So what are some things you do to be that positive person, to be that light in someone's life and in your own life, really? What are some things you do? I live in gratitude and I learn lessons. What is your advice that you can give and you can share with the community? We need each other. In my mind, this is a community that we have. I feel like we're a community of people who are on a spiritual journey once again, and we got to go to each other for advice. I noticed in one of my videos, a couple of people made a comment, and they were commenting saying that they don't really have other people they can go to, they can turn to for advice. Let's be that for each other, right? And let's build this community right here. So leave your comments below, give advice, ask questions. People respond to each other. I don't want to be the only one responding to people in the comments. Y'all respond to each other and y'all lift each other up. And that's what we're here to do, all right? Much peace and light, y'all. I wish you well. I hope you have a blessed, peaceful, prosperous day. Much light.